Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraya.
Hare Krishna.
Nashtavrayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So today we are starting new book by Srila Prabhupada, The Nectar of Instruction, or also called as Upadeshamrita. Very small book, but very, very powerful book. It takes us actually from, as they say in automobile, 0 to 100 in 60 seconds. So that they go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 60 seconds. Here, only 11 verses, only 11. And Rupa Goswami takes us from beginning all the way to the top level of Prema Bhakti in 11 verses only. Such an important book. And it does talk about some of the Prema Bhakti stages, which are generally not understood by neophytes, but it does talk about that. And when it was first published, this book, Nectar of Instruction, Prabhupada said, you should publish it in lakhs of copies and distribute it all over. No problem. Anybody and everybody can read it. This is how confident Prabhupada was. And why? What is this? Why is this book so important? If we, or whenever we come to read about Srila Rupa Goswami was the younger brother of Sanatana Goswami. And they were both big scholars, very big scholars. And they both were serving under Nawab Hussain Shah in Bengal before they met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And practically speaking, they both had become Muslims also. They got the Muslim names also. As Sakar Malik and I'm forgetting Rupa Goswami's name. Sakar Malik was Sanatana Goswami, Dabir Khas was Rupa Goswami. And they were wonderful expert ministers under Nawab Hussain Shah. But after they met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Ramkeli, they both decided we cannot work anymore under him, under the Nawab. We want to join Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So slowly Rupa Goswami resigned and he left for Vrindavan. Sanatana Goswami was still, he did not resume his work. He resigned, but he was put into prison. And later on, he got out. And it is said that Rupa Goswami, when he retired or when he resigned, he had so much of wealth. The one full boat was filled with gold coins. That much wealth he had. And that time, about 500 years ago, we are talking. So very, very wealthy. But he basically gave up all his wealth, gave it all away. And then he came to Vrindavan, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was from Banaras, he was going back. So he stopped at Prayagraj, Allahabad. So there Rupa Goswami came and met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So at the Sangam, there is in Prayagraj, it's also in Kashi Vishwanath, Dashashmedh Ghat. In Prayagraj also there's a temple at Dashashmedh Ghat. And that is where Rupa Goswami met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu instructed him for 10 days. And whatever instructions he got from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for those 10 days, Based on those, he wrote these two great books, Nectar of Instruction, which has only 11 verses, and Nectar of Devotion, which is huge. So, of course, Rupa Goswami wrote Upadeshamrita, and Prabhupada took those verses and he wrote his commentary as Nectar of Instruction. So in the preface, we'll start from the preface because it's important what Prabhupada has written. The Krishna consciousness movement, and so, okay, we're coming back to why Rupa Goswami. Because in Bhakti, there are three stages: Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojan. Sambandha means to understand and to establish our relationship with Krishna. Sanatan Goswami, whatever he has written, and whatever he has guided his instructions, so he is considered our Sambandha Acharya. So he has basically spoke much about our relationship with the Lord. Abhideya. Abhideya means the process by which we establish that relationship, which is basically devotional service. And Rupa Goswami is considered the Acharya of Abhideya, the process of devotion service. And then comes Prayojan. Prayojan means what is the ultimate aim of that devotion service, which is Prema Bhakti, to establish Prema Bhakti, to develop that Prema in our heart. And Raghunath Das Goswami is considered Acharya of Prayojan. So for us, obviously, Sambandha is very, very important, but devotional service, Abhideya, is more important. And that is why all the Gaudiya Vaishnava devotees, Acharyas, devotees, they all are considered Rupanugas. Rupanugas means under the guidance of Rupa Goswami, they make their progress. Although Rupa Goswami considers Sanatan Goswami as a spiritual master, they both were initiated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but as a matter of etiquette, matter of respect, matter of knowledge also we can say, but he always respected Sanatan Goswami as his guru. But we all are called Rupanugas because the literature that he has given, Rupa Goswami has given, and the instructions that he has given. And we follow under his guidance and make progress. So that's in the preface, Prabhupada writes, the Krishna consciousness movement is conducted under the supervision of Srila Rupa Goswami. He did not say Sanatan Goswami, he did not say 6 Goswamis, specifically under the supervision of Srila Rupa Goswami. The Gaudiya Vaishnavas or Bengali Vaishnavas are mostly followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of whom the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan are direct disciples. So Mahaprabhu gave instructions to 6 Goswamis, and we follow Mahaprabhu and we follow the 6 Goswamis and the literature they have given, but specifically Srila Rupa Goswami. Therefore, Srila Narottam Das Thakur has sung, Rupa Raghunath Pade Haive Akuti, Kabe Ham Bhujab Se Jugal Phiriti. When I am eager to understand the literature given by the Goswamis, then I shall be able to understand the transcendental loving affairs of Radha and Krishna. So when I'm eager to understand the literature, it doesn't say that when I'm ready to understand the literature, eager to understand, the anxiousness, the desire, the lolupta has to be there to understand literature given by 6 Goswamis. Then I shall be able to understand the transcendental loving affairs of Radha and Krishna. Because that is the topmost knowledge. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in order to bestow upon human society the benediction of the signs of Krishna. Krishna says, in Bhagavad Gita and throughout Bhagavatam, we read all his incarnations, whenever he comes, Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushkritam, right? But here Mahaprabhu appeared for what? He didn't come to Paritranaya sadhuna because and vinashaya cha dushkritam, because if he had started vinashaya cha dushkritam, then practically in Kali Yuga everybody is a dushkritam. Everybody is a demon. So he would have killed the whole society, everything, everybody. But no. He came to bestow upon human society the benediction of the science of Krishna, and especially the love, to give them the love for Krishna. The most exalted of all the activities of Lord Krishna are his pastimes of conjugal love with the gopis. This is the most exalted. We studied in Srimad Bhagavatam also. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in the mood of Srimati Radharani, the best of the gopis. Mahaprabhu appeared because Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, but he took the mood of Srimati Radharani. Radharani does not kill anybody. She is just full of compassion, full of love, full of mercy. So no more vinashaya cha dushkritam. Yes, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he killed the demoniac consciousness. He gave the devotion, gave love for Krishna, killed the demoniac consciousness instead of killing the demons. Therefore, to understand the mission of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and follow in his footsteps, one must very seriously follow in the footsteps of the 6 Goswamis. Sri Rupa, Sanatana, Bhatta Raghunath, Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath. So to understand that mood, because Mahaprabhu gave his mood, or these 6 Goswamis really understood the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But out of all these, especially Rupa Goswami. Why? Because Rupa Goswami understood so much the mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that there's a written about Sri Chaitanya Mano Abhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapatantik. He understood Sri Chaitanya Mano Abhishtam. He understood the real inner mood, innermost mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And how he understood, how much he understood? In Jagannath Puri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing in front of Lord Jagannath. He had created 7 dance kirtan parties, 4 in the front, 1 on each side, and 1 in the back. And Mahaprabhu was dancing simultaneously in all the kirtan parties. There were different kirtan parties. And he had assigned different leader, kirtan leader, mridanga player, dancers in every kirtan party. And Mahaprabhu was simultaneously dancing in all the kirtan parties at the time of Lord Jagannath Yatra. But at the same time, he was chanting one particular verse, something he was chanting. And basically, it was the same mood, with the same mood that the gopis were chanting, especially of all the gopis, Srimati Radharani, what she was saying when they had met Krishna in Kurukshetra, and they were ready to bring Krishna's chariot from Kurukshetra to Vrindavan. That we don't like the way you are dressed up as a king. We want you, we'd like you the same way that we used to see in Vrindavan. Dressed up in with the peacock feather, and with the bansi, and with the garlands of forest flowers. And we want to take you, and we want to spend time with you at the banks of Yamuna and the moonlit nights, and that mood of Srimati Radharani. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu In Rath Yatra, during Rath Yatra, looking at Lord Jagannath, he was saying the similar words. So Rupa Goswami heard that. And he came to the place. He was staying with Haridas Thakur and Siddh Bakul. And he came back and he wrote a verse similar to what Mahaprabhu was expressing, his desires in Rath Yatra. And he just put it on the thatched roof of the hut. And Mahaprabhu came with his associates, with Mukunda and other associates, Swarup Damodar Goswami, to see Haridas Thakur and Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, they both were there. So Mahaprabhu, when he entered, he saw this piece of paper. Of course, Mahaprabhu knows everything, but he is still as bad. He saw this piece of paper on the roof, and he picked that paper and he read it. And he showed it to Swarup Damodar Goswami, and he said, "Who wrote this?" And they said, "Well, it has to be Rupa Goswami." And we were like, how did he understand my mood? And he went inside the hut. Of course, Swarup Damodar Goswami, he would have torn up that paper if he was envious. And then, how come he's getting more mercy than me? But no, he kept it. Everybody appreciated. And he made it. He let everybody read that verse. And they were so happy. Mahaprabhu was saying, how did he understand? How did he understand my mood, my heart? And everybody said, Mahaprabhu, because of your causeless mercy on him. So this is the qualification of Srila Rupa Goswami. Sri Chaitanya Mano Abhishtam Sthapitam Yena, and then understood Mano Abhishta of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and to establish it all over the world. Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Mayam Dadati Sapatantika. Means a devotee is saying, the same Rupa Goswami, when is he going to give his mercy on me? That's why Rupa Goswami is very, very exalted, and we should pray to him to give us his mercy so that we can also make progress. And this book, especially this book and Nectar of Devotion, and of course, Brihad Bhagavatamrita, he has written that, and Laghu Bhagavatamrita, 2 more books he has written. And there's so many others also. So maybe whenever we are eligible in this life, or next life, some other life, we can read those also. So that's why Sri Rupa Goswami is considered the leader of all the 6 Goswamis. Sri Rupa Goswami was the leader of all the Goswamis. And to guide our activities, he gave us this Upadeshamrita, the nectar of instruction, to follow. Actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left behind him the 8 verses known as Shikshashtaka. Rupa Goswami gave us Upadeshamrita so that we may become pure Vaishnavas. In 11 verses only, if we follow it properly. In all spiritual affairs, one's first duty is to control his mind and senses. Because without control of mind and senses, one cannot make progress in bhakti or any other yoga process. Unless one controls his mind and senses, one cannot make any advancement in spiritual life. Everyone within this material world is engrossed in the modes of passion and ignorance. One must promote himself to the platform of goodness, Sattvagun, by following the instructions of Rupa Goswami. And then everything concerning how to make further progress will be revealed. So without controlling the mind and the senses, forget about making any progress. What to speak of any progress? We cannot even perform our devotion service if we cannot control our mind and the senses. So Rupa Goswami, through his teachings, he'll teach us how to control, why to control. Advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. It doesn't depend upon how much prasadam we have had and how many books we have studied and how many. Somehow I got kicked out of the base. How many slokas we have memorized. It doesn't depend on that. It depends on the attitude of the follower. Oops. Vaishnavas, okay, a follower of the Krishna consciousness movement should become a perfect Goswami. It's not just a matter of a title for the sannyasis. One should become, everybody is Prabhupada says, a follower of the Krishna consciousness movement should become a perfect Goswami. Means he should have full control over his senses. This is what Prabhupada's instructions are, and this is what his desire is. Vaishnavas are generally known as Goswamis. In Vrindavan, this is the title by which the director of each temple is known. You go to Vrindavan, oh, Goswami ji, hai kya, Goswami ji, Goswami. Yes, they all are Goswami, no doubt. But here, Goswami means one who controls his senses. One who wants to become a perfect devotee of Krishna, one must become a Goswami. Go means the senses, go also means cow, but go also means senses. And Swami means the master. So unless one controls his senses and mind, one cannot become a Goswami. So Goswami literally means one who controls his mind and the senses. To achieve the highest success in life by becoming a Goswami and then a pure devotee of the Lord, one must follow the instructions known as Updeshamrita, which have been given by Srila Rupa Goswami. Srila Rupa Goswami has given many of the books such as Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Vidagdha Madhav, Lalit Madhav, but Updeshamrita constitutes the first instructions for neophyte devotees. Of course, it says here neophyte devotees, but once we read words 9, 10, 11, they are definitely not for neophytes. One should follow these instructions very strictly. Then it will be easier to make one's life successful. And how important these instructions are. It's amazing. And to make progress, one has to follow these instructions very seriously. Just like somebody once asked Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, how to make progress in bhakti? What's a price to make progress in bhakti? He said only charana. That time it was only charana. Charana for what? He said just buy these two books by Narottam Das Thakur, Pratna, and there's another book. I'm forgetting. It's at the tip of my tongue. It's not coming out. Pratna and another book by Narottam Das Thakur. Read that every day, and you'll make progress. But here in ISKCON, there's a Maharaj, Hanumat Preshak Maharaj, and he keeps these two books, Updeshamrit, Nectar of Instruction, and Light of the Bhagavad with him all the time. Wherever he goes, he keeps these two books with him. And he says, if you read these two books, definitely you can make progress. Nothing can stop. So important. And only 11 verses. It's not a whole lot. And it's a very, very small book, but one can make tremendous progress if he follows those instructions. Okay, I guess I can stop here. See anybody has any questions. Now you all must be thinking, what in the world are these instructions?
Yes, Prabhuji.
What are we
Prabhuji, I
talking
started
about
reading
here?
Rupa Goswami. Wikipedia पे खोल के देखने. While he was telling about Rupa Goswami, Srila Rupa Goswami, I was started reading about his Jeevan, the entire the time he spent. He was the main. I think his brother Sanatana Goswami and himself both are the top-notch disciple of Gauranga.
Yeah. But of the two, Rupa Goswami is considered.
Yeah.
So if you get a chance, read more about him, and tomorrow we'll start from first verse.
Sure, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So you all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Krishna, Jai
Jai
Shri
Shri
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada.